This is John Murdy, creative director of Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood. And this year, we're creating more mazes than ever before, and even more exciting than that, we're working with some of the biggest names in the world of horror to bring them to life. And that includes writer, producer, director Eli Roth, bringing his franchise Hostel to life for Halloween Horror Nights, working with Rob Zombie to bring House of a Thousand Corpses in 3D Zombievision to life, and one of my personal favorites, working with my childhood hero, Alice Cooper, to bring Welcome to My Nightmare to life. His classic concept album from the 70s, but also he's got a new album coming out that's the sequel called Welcome to My Nightmare, and embracing the entire world of Alice Cooper and turning him into a living horror movie. We're also doing La Llorona, the 500-year-old myth, working directly with Diego Luna, the Mexican-American actor. He has a very unique connection to the story. Very exciting to work with him to bring this myth to life. Out on the backlot for Terror Tram, we're doing Scream, so the Ghostface killer is loose on the backlot, and that's an experience where we take people down to the famous Universal backlot. It's, you know, the place the horror movie was born, and we drop them off and they get to walk through some of the most famous sets of all time, including the Psycho House, Bates Motel, plane crash set from War of the Worlds. And another first for us is doing The Thing. This is based on the upcoming prequel, hasn't even come out in the movie theaters yet, comes out October 14th. Halloween Horror Nights open September 23rd, so we're way out ahead of the movie, featuring all those incredible creatures and creations from The Thing and bringing it to life for our guests.
And I know The Thing is very unique in your lineup. Could you tell us a little bit more about why?
Well, for The Thing, it transcends like normally what we do, which is we need actors to portray these characters. And while actors are portraying a lot of these characters, these are crazy creatures. And what's exciting for me is getting to work with Alec and Tom at ADI. These are the Academy Award-winning makeup artists that are designing the film. They're the makeup artists for the film. And they were so gracious that they let my makeup artist move into their studio, use their molds from the film. So at the end of the day, we always strive to create movie-quality haunted attractions, but here's a situation where this is the real deal from the movie, and we're getting to use that and bring that to life in a haunted attraction. That's very, 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 very exciting.
And since people haven't seen the film yet, I know you can't give it away, but how scary is The Thing?
Well, The Thing is very much in the spirit of the 1982 film. It is a true prequel. This is not a remake, and that was exciting to me because I love the original film. And I love the fact that they set this one in the Norwegian base, which they touched on in the original film, but being able to take you to the Antarctic, which is an amazing environment to create, and take you through that claustrophobic research base where the Thing is attacking you all over the place, and all these different iterations of that character, that's particularly exciting and a heck of a challenge.
And one thing I'm hoping for, you're going to be able to make it cold in there?
Yes, we are making it cold in The Thing. I have 2 giant 5-ton HVAC units and ductwork going everywhere. So we want you to, we want to physically affect our guests. There's all kinds of tricks we use. Some of them are very simple, some of them are very complex. But at the end of the day, we want to physically affect you because there's nothing that freaks people out more than their own senses. And we prey on all your senses in Halloween Horror Nights. The whole facade is that research base, so there's snow out there and everything. And when you go inside, even though you're indoors, we still psychologically want to affect you and you want to feel that cold air. And that's awesome to be able to use every trick in the trade to, mess with people, essentially, freak them out.
And the young John Murdy inside you gets to work with your hero, Alice Cooper.
Yes.
I know professionally, but personally, what is that like as well?
Alice, I met Alice yesterday. He came down to the studio. I've been corresponding with him and his longtime producer, Bob Ezrin, his longtime manager, Shep Gordon. All the people around Alice have worked with him since like day one. And to be able to walk Alice Cooper through something that myself and my art director Chris created that is inspired by his music, that takes his songs and the characters from his stage show and his music and turns them into a living horror movie, I don't think you get better than that. It's so surreal for me because when I was a little kid, I found an 8-track tape of Love It to Death, and it changed my life, and I owe my entire career to Alice Cooper. So what a pleasure to be working with him this year and bringing something like Welcome to My Nightmare to life.
And La Llorona went from a scare zone last year to a full maze this year. Can you describe a bit about that transition? Yeah,
I think when people came to Horror Nights last year, I think they wanted a maze out of La Llorona. One thing we've learned about La Llorona is that it has huge awareness, particularly in Los Angeles, but throughout the world. It's a 500-year-old myth, so the creative challenge for us, working with Diego Luna, which was really exciting because Diego actually grew up on a street that was named for La Llorona. It's ingrained in his childhood. So being able to collaborate and look at that myth and then bring little bits and pieces from other versions of that myth, because there's all kinds of different iterations, and take that all together and turn it into a horror movie, was incredibly exciting, and I'm thrilled with the way La Llorona is turning out. It's one of our most detailed mazes we've ever created from a scenic perspective.
And can you describe a bit about the challenge of putting Talbot Hall into House of Horrors?
You know, the Wolfman is so much a part of the legacy of the studio. The original film, you know, was made in 1941, so here we are all these years later. When I look at House of Horrors, it's already a gothic theme, so it's probably, of all the things we've done with House of Horrors over the year, the Wolfman makes the most sense. And what's great about being after the film's released is there's no spoilers to worry about. So when we're embracing the Talbot family, we're embracing the entire family. So Sir John, you know, Ben Talbot, Solana, the entire family is going to be featured in that attraction, and that gives us the variety that we're looking for.
Outstanding. Can you describe a bit where each maze is going to be in the park? Can you tell us that yet?
Yeah, just logistically, as you're navigating your way through Halloween Horror Nights, La Llorona is over in the extended queue for Shrek. The Thing is in our Wild West venue in the middle of the park. Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses 3D is over by T2. And then as you go downstairs, Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare is in the Jurassic Park extended overflow queue. Hostel is behind the Mummy ride. Back upstairs, House of Horrors at the very front of the park, that's the Wolfman. And then of course Terror Tram, which I recommend you do first when you come to Halloween Horror Nights. It's our signature experience. It's the only place in the world where you can get off the tram and walk through the place where horror movies were born. And that's over by the studio tour. So the entire park is transformed into a living horror movie.
Last one. How extreme is Hostel going to be? Are we going to get sights and smells and sounds and all?
Yeah. You're going to get it all. You're going to get it all, and then you're going to puke. So working with Eli on Hostel, when we first sat down to talk about it, you know, obviously you want to feature things from the movie, but Eli had some new ideas, which were, you know, particularly gruesome. And of course we embrace that with all of our passion. And even some of the things from the movie, we'd go back to Eli and go, yeah, that's gross. This is grosser. And we push it. And it's so great to be able to work with these filmmakers who have a passion for our event. Eli's a big fan of this event. He's come for a number of years. And it's exciting to finally be able to work with these people and bring their visions to life. There's just nothing better than that.
And Halloween Horror Nights opens when?
Halloween Horror Nights 2011 opens September 23rd, and it runs for select nights through Halloween night.